Number 1. The sudden feeling you're being watched. You're walking alone at night, streetlights buzzing, minding your own business, then bam. That weird, primal chill. You just know someone's eyes are on you, even if the street is empty. Spoiler. Half the time no one's there. Congratulations. Your brain just hit the panic button for no reason. This little glitch comes from your caveman-era survival software. Back then, being watched wasn't just awkward, it was life or death. Predators stalked silently. Rival humans lurked in the shadows. If you ignored that creeping sensation, you became tiger chow. So your nervous system evolved a hyper-alert sixth sense. Something's watching you. Do something about it. Problem is, the instinct never turned off. Now it fires when you're alone in your apartment, scrolling TikTok, or standing in front of the fridge at 2 a.m. looking for snacks. Yeah, Karen. It's not a ghost, it's your amygdala having a drama moment. Science calls it hypervigilance, and psychologists say your brain is basically overreacting to tiny environmental cues, like a flicker of movement or a sound you didn't consciously notice. And here's the kicker. Even when you know it's irrational, your heart still races, your skin prickles, and suddenly you're walking faster, like that's gonna help you outpace the imaginary murderer. Basically, your nervous system is still camping out in a cave while you're just trying to get home from Target. Number 2. Jumping at loud noises. You're chilling with a drink, scrolling memes, when suddenly crash, the neighbor drops something, or a car backfires, and you nearly yeet your soul straight out of your body. Seriously? It's just a sound. Why does your body act like a war just started? That's the startle reflex. And oh boy, it's ancient. Back in the Stone Age, a sudden noise probably meant danger, predator in the bushes, enemy ambush, maybe an earthquake about to ruin your cave. Your nervous system didn't have time to politely ask, "Excuse me, was that a threat?" No, it just slammed the adrenaline button, spiked your heart rate, and jerked your muscles like you were about to throw hands. Today, loud noises are usually just fireworks, construction, or your roommate dropping their phone. But your body doesn't know the difference. So you twitch, flinch, maybe even squeal like a malfunctioning rubber chicken. Congratulations. That's survival instinct, except the danger was a microwave beeping because your hot pocket is ready. And don't pretend you haven't laughed at yourself after one of these moments. It's the most useless leftover instinct. Like, thanks evolution, I really needed a full body spasm to alert me that Chad upstairs dropped a frying pan. Number 3. Freezing when you're terrified. You know that thing where instead of running or fighting, you just stop? Like, statue mode? Yeah. That's not you being weak, that's caveman programming still running on Windows 95. The freeze response was meant to make you invisible. If a predator saw movement, you were toast. Standing still could mean the difference between survival and becoming a snack. Basically, your body said, okay, hear me out. If we just stop existing, maybe the giant bear won't notice us. Sometimes it even worked, but fast forward to modern times, and the freeze response is laughably useless. You get called on in a meeting, panic hits, and suddenly you're frozen mid-thought like someone hit the pause button on your brain. Or worse, you're in a horror movie situation, hear something in the basement, and instead of running, you just stand there like an idiot auditioning for victim number 1. Psychologists call it tonic immobility. Your body literally hijacks your decision-making to play possum. And while that was great against lions, it's less great when the lion is just your boss asking for updates on a project you forgot about. Basically, freezing is your body's way of saying, we'll survive this by being the world's worst statue. Thanks, instincts. Super helpful. Number 4. Flinching at sudden touch. You're sitting there, totally relaxed, and someone taps you on the shoulder, instant karate stance. Your arms twitch, your body jolts, and for half a second you're convinced you're about to get mugged in your own living room. Relax, champ. It was just your friend asking what you want for lunch. That hair trigger response is your caveman bodyguard. Back in the prehistoric wild, anything brushing against your skin, an insect, a snake, an enemy sneaking up, meant trouble. Your nerves developed this hypersensitive flinch mode to keep you alive. A fast reaction could be the difference between brushing off a deadly bug or getting poisoned. The problem is, your nervous system doesn't care that you're no longer in a jungle. It still freaks out at surprise hugs, stray cobwebs, or someone tapping you on the back in a grocery store. That tiny jump you do? That's millions of years of survival instinct overreacting because Aunt Linda wanted to say hi. Basically, Your body thinks every touch is a potential assassination attempt. Chill out, caveman. Number 5. The gut feeling you can't explain. Ever just know something's off? Like you walk into a room, and even though nothing's wrong, your stomach twists and your brain goes, nope, danger zone. That's your gut instinct, a survival relic that refuses to die. Scientists call it interoception, your body's way of reading subtle signals and spitting out a vibe check before your conscious mind catches up. Cavemen used this all the time. Maybe they couldn't explain why a certain cave felt unsafe, but their gut said, get out. And surprise, that cave usually had a bear inside. Fast forward to now, and your gut still chimes in. Maybe you decide not to trust the too friendly guy at a gas station, or you suddenly take a different route home for no reason. Sometimes you're wrong, sometimes you're right, but that instinct is still powerful. Your subconscious processes tiny clues, tone of voice, body language, even smells, and warns you before you're fully aware. Of course, sometimes your gut is just gas. But hey, better safe than bare food, right? Number 6. Holding your breath when you sense danger. You ever notice how, when you're freaked out, you suddenly stop breathing? Like you're a kid hiding in hide and seek even though the seeker is just a creepy noise in the hallway. That's ancient survival software at work. Holding your breath made sense in caveman times. If a predator was nearby, breathing loudly might give you away. So your body learned to shut down your air intake temporarily, basically saying, shh, maybe the giant murder cat won't notice us. It also tensed your body, priming your muscles for either sprinting or stabbing something with a stick. Modern life? Totally useless. Nobody's getting saved from a mugger or a bad date by forgetting to breathe. All it does is make you dizzy and sweaty. But your body still thinks you're crouched behind a bush, praying the predator walks past. So yeah, the next time you realize you've been holding your breath during a horror movie, just remember you're not dramatic. You're just running outdated caveman software that refuses to uninstall. Number 7. The fear of heights you pretend you don't have. Oh, I'm not scared of heights. I just don't like standing on glass floors 100 stories up. Yeah, okay, buddy. Truth is, most humans are wired to feel at least a little queasy near edges. Even babies that can't spell gravity will hesitate when crawling toward a drop-off. Why? Because our ancestors who didn't fear heights, well, they didn't make it far enough to pass on their genes. The instinct is called acrophobia, and it's not just about the fear of falling, it's about your brain imagining the possibility of falling. Your inner caveman looks down from a ledge and screams, nope, we've seen how this ends. Bones everywhere. Don't do it. Your body goes full DEFCON 1. Sweaty palms, racing heart, jelly knees. Totally useless if you're just sightseeing, but super helpful when cliffs were a daily hazard. Of course, your logical brain knows you're safe behind that railing on the observation deck, but instincts don't care about logic. They're running on outdated software that says, one wrong move and you're saber-toothed tiger food at the bottom of a ravine. So if you're scared of heights, congratulations, you're the product of ancestors who survived. If you're not scared, well, maybe check if your great-great-great-grandpa had a parachute. Number 8. Startling awake from nightmares. You ever wake up mid-nightmare, heart pounding, drenched in sweat, convinced something's in the room? Yeah, that's your caveman brain running fire drills while you sleep. See, dreams aren't just random nonsense. Many scientists think nightmares are a survival simulator. Back in prehistoric times, your brain rehearsed worst-case scenarios while you slept. Ambushes, predators, falling, betrayal. The idea was that if it happened in real life, you'd already practiced how to react. Problem is, the system never turned off. So now you dream about missing your final exam, your teeth falling out, or being late for work, and your body reacts like you just got chased by a saber-tooth. Your pulse skyrockets, your muscles tense, your brain screams, panic, while you're lying safe in a memory foam bed. And that jolting sit-up you do when you wake up in terror, that's your survival reflex, ready to fight off an enemy that doesn't exist. Thanks, evolution, you gave us free horror movies every night. Too bad they're not refundable. Number 9. Distrusting silence. Ever noticed how total silence feels? Wrong? Like if a forest suddenly goes quiet, you immediately think something bad is about to happen? That's not paranoia, that's leftover caveman training. Back then, noise was life. Birds chirping, bugs buzzing, leaves rustling, all signs things were normal. But when everything went silent, it usually meant a predator had arrived. Animals went hush, danger lurked, and the cavemen who ignored the quiet, they became dinner. Today, you still get that uneasy vibe. Sitting in a silent office at night? Creepy. Walking through a quiet parking garage? Double creepy. Silence is your brain's way of saying, where'd the background noise go? Something's stalking us. Even when it's not. Basically, your nervous system is still running jungle surveillance, even though the only predator in the garage is your own imagination. Or, that one weird guy who parks in the corner. Number 10. Hoarding stuff you don't need. You know that drawer full of old cables you'll definitely never use again? Or the stash of plastic bags you're saving for. What exactly? Yeah. Blame your inner caveman. Hoarding wasn't about being quirky back then, it was survival. When you lived in a cave with no Amazon Prime, you couldn't afford to toss things. Every stick, every stone, every scrap of animal hide had a potential use later. Food, especially our ancestors, hoarded whatever they could, because famine was always lurking around the corner. The instinct was, better to keep it and maybe need it, than throw it away and starve. Fast forward a few thousand years, and now your brain applies the same logic to expired coupons, broken remotes, and the 4 extra spatulas you've somehow accumulated. Your DNA doesn't know you live in an age of Costco bulk packs and Uber Eats. It still whispers, save everything. Winter is coming. So yeah, your clutter isn't laziness, it's biology. Basically, your brain is one bad Wi-Fi outage away from turning you into a full-on cave hoarder. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.